Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is an English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Sahab Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Monday, the 13th of Rabi'ul Akhir 1447, 6th of October 2025. This Majlis took place at Jamia Darul Uloom Hassaniya Mangrol, Junagadh, Gujarat. The Majlis took place after the Magarib Salat. Our Hazrat Wala starts off by quoting قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Our Hazrat Wala thereafter goes on to say that reaching this age of my life to speak Zabani, and just like that, without any kitab in front of me, has become difficult. Hazrat Maulana Tanvi, already from the age of 84, started reading from the kitab. I have exceeded that much more, my age. So I have sat down. Let it be such, inshallah, Allah make it such, that beneficial talks come out from my tongue. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab himself used to say that I have done a favor to the ulama by telling them that they should take the kitab and recite from the kitab, read from the kitab, conduct majlis in that manner. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab also had his personal diary. At that time there, he had become the center point of all the ulama, marja'ul ulama. They would all turn towards him. This is not my habit, but I'm thinking to myself now, I should make this my permanent habit, to read from the kitab. So here, in front of us today, we have an article of Hazrat Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehlvi Rahimahullah. Regarding him, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say back in the day that the ulama of Deoband had taken more to the teachings of Hazrat Mujaddid Al-Faithani. But when Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab seen the ta'limat of Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehlvi, he started taking out that and impressing upon the minds of people about the capacity, the ta'lim, the teachings of Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehlvi Rahimahullah. Okay, so here, speaking about sohbat ki zarurat, the need of companionship. So the need and importance of remaining in the company of spiritual masters has been explained by Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhaddis Dehlvi Rahimahullah in his introduction to Akhbarul Akhyar. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Peace and salutations to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This insignificant servant, Abdul Haq ibn Saifuddin Turk Dehlvi Bukhari, states, all erudite and insightful scholars, ulama, who are listed amongst the enlightened and reliable personalities, accept that the most effective, in fact, the most superior form of ibadat and worship is the sohbat and the companionship of the Ahlullah, and remaining in the company of the close servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a seeker observes their steadfastness, their firmness and unity of purpose, he develops strength and courage. Consequently, the fatigue of worship and the difficulties of spiritual exercises, which are essentials of this path, become easy for him. In fact, when he beholds their beauty, his heart develops a special effulgence, a noor. As a result, the darknesses of doubts and misgivings, which is the real cause behind the barrier between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is removed from his heart. Now Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab is saying, look, Sheikh Abdul Haq Rahimahullah is saying that the companionship of the spiritual masters is one of the most superior forms of worship. The proof he is giving is that when the seeker observes their firmness and steadfastness, it gives him courage and strength. This enables him to bear difficulties of doing good actions. When he beholds their beauty, his heart develops enlightenment, which removes the darkness of doubts, and the veil is raised. Now, after reading this, our Hazrat Wala is saying, it is for this reason that our Buzurgan-e-Din was so particular about the companionship of the need of sohbat, companionship of the saintly ones. Hazrat Mujaddid Al-Faithani, who we just spoke about now, himself went and understood the need of companionship. So all these great seniors who used to come from Darul Uloom Deoband and who turned their attention to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, he would read these articles to them. They also understood the need of companionship of a saintly person. In fact, all these saintly people of Darul Uloom Deoband went to Hazrat Haji Imdadullah at that time there. And remember that you didn't need to be Farigh from Darul Uloom Deoband, because Hazrat Haji Imdadullah himself was not Farigh from Darul Uloom Deoband, but the people from there all came to him. You know, when you look at them, they have so much of strength in what they are doing, despite themselves being aged. They are so punctual and they are so paband whatever they are doing, and that actually gives the onlooker, the one who comes and stay in their company, gives them strength. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to carry out so much of mujahada in the month of Ramadan. You know, I can tell you clearly, at least one khatam of the Quran he used to carry out per day. Maulana Irshad Sahab and them, they actually felt that he would do much more than that. But I can tell you, at least one khatam of the Quran daily was his practice. Then he was involved in ta'aleem and tarbiyat. He used to give majalis. And all of this he used to do when he was in his old age. Now the same theme is expressed by Hazrat Qazi Sanaullah Sahab, Panipati Rahimahullah, a group comprising countless people of whom it is impossible, you cannot conceive that they will concur on fabricating a lie, and whose every member is on such a level of piety and knowledge that it is impermissible to accuse him of lying, having stated in their writings and speeches that the company of the spiritual masters created a new condition in their hearts. This condition caused them to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His friends, created enthusiasm for good actions, confirmed them with divine inspiration for righteous deeds, and entrenched true and correct beliefs in them. This is a condition which ought to be referred to as perfection, Qamar. It is a condition which is a catalyst for many other perfections and excellences. Hazrat Qazi Sahab presents a striking and cognate proof for the blessings and benefits of the company of the spiritual masters, namely, countless people developed a new spiritual condition which they did not have previously. He then describes a group wherein every member is on the highest level of piety and knowledge, making it impossible to accuse them of fabricating a lie. If this is the condition of every member of a group, it will obviously be immensely dependent and dependable and reliable. And if its members pass a unanimous decision on a certain matter, it will certainly be an absolute and definite decision, as though Qazi Sahab is saying that such a large number of people in every era have been speaking and writing on this, and this has reached the level of tawatur. Now there is no room for rejection by anyone. The new condition which develops in the heart by virtue of the companionship of the spiritual masters refer to Nisbat Ihsan, which is mentioned in the hadith of Jibreel, that you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as though you are seeing him. I don't think there is a need to speak further on the need of the importance of good company. If anyone wants details, he may study the monograph Fawaid-e-Sohbah of Hazrat Muslihul Ummah. It will certainly be enlightening and it will help the reader to understand the subject. I make an earnest appeal to those, by Allah's grace, who are able to be in the company of an expert sheikh, should do so with a genuine intention and sound conviction. Whatever time they can spend with him, they should consider it to be a boon, and they must acquire spiritual blessings from him. I request you to make dua for me as well, that Allah Ta'ala enables me to rectify my character, makes purification of the nafs easy, and confers me with his love and affiliation. Ameen. May Allah Ta'ala bless me, you and all the Muslims with this. Thereafter Hazrat Wala starts making dua, saying, may Allah bless us with every type of afiyat. Many people have gathered ijtimaya, and it brings much happiness to me. There is a nikah also going to be performed here. There will be barakat. It is according to the Sharia. Allah Ta'ala, let us all take benefit. It is the grace of Allah that is allowed us to be in such a nikah which is according to the Sunnah. Allahumma alif bayna qulubina wa aslih dhata baynina wahdina subul as-salam wa najjina min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur wa jannibna al-fawahisha ma dhahara minha wa ma batan wa barik lana fi asma'ina wa absarina wa qulubina wa azwajina wa dhurriyyatina wa tub alayna innaka antat tawwabur rahim. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.